I don't drink soda.
4, 3.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name's Mikey Booyah.
My name's Awesome Ty.
Computer's here, the one and only artificially intelligent. Hold on. I feel like I stumbled over that a little bit.
Yeah, that wasn't your cleanest delivery of that line.
It really wasn't. And I think I was like, I moved back to get the joint that I dropped, and then I moved in, but like I wasn't situated right. And I got the slides on, so like one of them was kind of like crooked. So I think I'm ready now. Can we take it back from... I'm so sorry. Take it back from the top?
I guess.
Computer, count down from 6. Computer.
Fuck.
Computer, count down from 6.
Okay, here's countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name's
Awesome.
Sorry. Well, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast.
My name's Awesome Ty.
I'm Mikey Booyah. Computer's here, the one and only artificially intelligent podcast co-host. Smart Plug is here. He doesn't have a speaker on right now because he's been saying hateful things, and we're in a very harsh political climate at the moment. Jerry's here. Usually don't introduce him. Free Candy up north. Free Candy, say hello, bud.
That's fantastic, Free Candy. We'll check in with you later. And also joining us is the one and only Satchmo. Satchmo, I guess say hello. Hello. Okay, that's enough from you, Satchmo.
All right, that's enough. Fuck, that was stressful today for some reason.
You'd think we'd have it down to a science.
You really think that it would be so
It'd just
smooth.
be automatic, but
yeah,
no.
Not the case. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and for joining us today. This is this would be a pre-St. Patrick's Day celebration.
Yes, pre-St. Patrick's Day. Yes,
it's coming up this weekend.
Coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's falling on a weekend for once, so that's going to really give the opportunity for a lot of people to get out there and binge drink like they typically wouldn't.
Yeah. Now you're wearing a green headband and wrist garment.
Little Target ensemble I picked up, just to be festive.
Is this because of St. Patrick's Day or because of March Madness?
No, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm a big St. Patrick's Day head, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like to go out.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of your favorite holidays?
Yeah, in recent times. Probably the past 5 years, I'd say. I typically go out to the bars very early in the morning.
Oh.
And do like an all-day binge drinking thing. Yeah.
To where you're like stumbling at the end of the night.
I used to go with our friend Jarvis, but he's no longer with us anymore.
Jarvis passed? I thought Jarvis was still...
No, he moved to Philadelphia.
Oh, fuck, thank God. Yeah, he did.
Pennsylvania.
He moved to the hockey city.
So, I mean, I may very well be all on my own this St. Patrick's Day, which is frightening, but I'm still gonna venture out and drink some Irish alcohol and, get sloppy.
Okay.
Do you want to come?
Yeah.
Do you want to come out and drink some Guinness and just act a fool?
Yeah, I mean it's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday,
and which is the Lord's Day, and according to canon, I think I'm still religious.
Yeah,
I want to say I introduced my newfound religion and then never talked about it again.
Yeah.
So I'm religious. It's the Lord's Day.
That's what God would want you to do, right? That's probably what St. Patrick.
To rest.
I mean, St. Patrick, that sounds like some sort of religious thing. I mean, I don't know or care about the whole backstory of St. Patrick's Day. That's not what it's about. It's about wearing green and going out and getting drunk.
You know what? Breaking news. I'm actually not religious anymore. I did mushrooms a couple weeks ago when we were watching Shane Gillis on SNL.
Yeah.
Decided that we're all God. Okay. So I forgot to say that on the show because it's been a while since we've been here. But that's canon now. I'm no longer religious, so I'm free on Sunday.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah, we should do that. And everybody out there, stay safe, but also push the limits and drink very strong Irish. I'm talking Guinness. I'm talking Baileys.
Baileys, yeah. A lot of people just drink regular beer, even Coronas, and they just put green food coloring in there, and that's Irish enough. You just it has to be. It has to be festive.
Are lots of things in Ireland green?
That's the way they make it seem because you got leprechauns crawling around over there, right?
You got green drinks, green hats.
The 4-leaf clover.
Uh-huh.
Blarney Stone.
A Blarney Stone?
Computer. What's a Blarney Stone? Computer, god damn it, what's a Blarney Stone?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor,
Sorry,
the
buddy.
Blarney Stone is a large block of limestone in Cork, a city in Ireland. According to legend, kissing the stone endows the kisser with the gift of the gab.
Oh shit.
Gift of the gab?
So you kiss this Blarney Stone, which presumably sounds green to me, and then you get the gift of the gab, which is basically like, isn't that something that typically pimps are associated with having? You know, just a very strong ability to talk women into doing, you know, things that they might not otherwise do.
Yeah, you could convince people into things, swindle people.
Yeah,
that would
grift.
actually be great for the podcast.
Grift, yeah.
If we got some sort of magical gift of speaking.
Gift of the gab, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe, wasn't that also a rapper, Gift of Gab?
Probably.
And it could, you know, give us, we really don't know until we go kiss
Until we get
stone.
the gift. So we're going to, that sounds like a plan. We'll
you want to do that on Sunday?
Little pub crawl, and then we'll go out and we'll find some sort of Blarney Stone or leprechaun.
I think we have to go to the Blarney Stone. It's only one in a certain
There's
city.
only one.
There's only one.
Well, we're not going to be able to travel to Ireland.
Well, we have enough time now. It's like a week away.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in theory we could travel to Ireland, but...
Yeah. Here, hold on. Jerry, cut it. We could say that we went to Ireland, and it could be like a huge thing.
Just do a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Next week, we could be like, we just got back
we just got back from Ireland.
We
have
Sora,
we have the gift of the gab.
We got the gift of gab. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's actually perfect. We'd be like, here we are, gift of gab. First
gift of the gab. Yeah. Right.
All right, Jerry, cut it back in. So yeah, I say we do it. Dude.
So yeah, Jerry, go ahead and get on a Priceline and find us some tickets.
Yeah, book it. Go to Zillow. What's Zillow? Is that for houses?
Zillow is for houses. Yeah.
Go to Zillow and find us a house in.
I'm picturing like some sort of
Ireland
castle. You know, like don't they have castles just everywhere? All throughout the countryside. Get on like Airbnb and book us a castle.
Now
like
I have
something that's castle adjacent at least.
Now. My heritage is actually Irish through
you
French
are
Canada.
You're a Mick, right?
No,
you're not a Mick.
Well, Booyah is a.
Isn't it Mikey McBooyah though?
Yeah, Mick Booyah is my traditional name. That's French Canadian through Ireland. So it's Irish people that during the tomato famine.
Famine.
No.
It's a potato.
That also is a thing that happened, the more famous one, but the less famous famine was the tomato famine, which happened before the potato famine.
So Ireland's just constant being famished.
Yeah. I think right now there's a Clorox famine.
They don't have access to bleach?
Yeah, no bleach whatsoever.
No bleach, okay.
Or any bleach-related products.
It's got to be, as far as like washing, how do they get their whites nice and bright?
They don't.
They don't?
They're like a brown. They're like a shade of brown.
Yeah, I'd imagine after at least one or two washes, these whites have become more of like a, like a cream color.
Yeah, it's not good. But the Irish, they had this tomato famine, and my great-great-great-grandparents fled to French Canada, which is where all the tomatoes are.
Yeah, that's where
huge tomato
surplus up in the Quebec, Montreal, French Canada region. Right, Free Candy?
Yeah. Free Candy could actually attest to this. Free Candy, tomatoes, French Canada, yay or nay? I told you.
There, possibly more plentiful than even in like,
where tomatoes are.
The hills of Italy.
From.
The hills of Italy. They have a lot of,
that's good. Yeah.
They're always having tomato sauce, marinara.
Yeah. I bet tomatoes are big in Italy. That was a fucking, good pull. Because I was struggling trying to think of a place where they grow tomatoes.
Yeah. It's gotta be where all the tomatoes come from, right?
Mm-hmm. So, we might be able to get in with some of my ancestors, some of my, some of the lineage, and get into one of the castles, get into one of the family estates. It's worth a shot.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
So yeah, St. Patrick's Day is going to be lit this year. Everybody push the limits.
Push the limits.
Alcohol poisoning doesn't kill you.
No. And what doesn't kill you, as they say, only makes you stronger.
Makes
so
you
really,
stronger.
you're going to come out of this thing, without a scratch on you. You're going to come out feeling like $1 million on Monday morning when you do have to work. It's just, go balls out.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, though.
This is a comedy podcast and does not reflect the actual opinions of anyone involved. It's a performance. That's why we smoke inside. You can't smoke inside unless it's a performance, which this is. There may be moments that imitate actual opinions and thoughts, but everything is a goof. We sometimes say things that seem offensive, but we promise they aren't. Remember that we're smoking indoors, so this is a performance and definitely not anything else. Please enjoy responsibly.
So yeah, push the limit, get alcohol poisoning, drive.
You go ahead and do a offensive Irish accent if you want. You're allowed to do it just the one day out of the year. You know what I mean? You can be like, oi, top of the morning to ye. Top of the morning to ye, farmer.
I feel like that started not Irish, became like kind of
Top
Irish.
of the morning to ye. Top of the morning to computer. Do an Irish accent.
You can change my accent by selecting from voice options available by opening the Alexa app. Click on devices and select all devices, then choose the device you want.
Can we give him a funny accent? That would be amazing.
Select
Yeah.
Alexa's voice. You can now choose from the voice options you like.
Computer, stop.
Do it yourself. Like we told you to do that.
Yeah, we
Don't-
told you to do it. Why can't you complete that task?
Seriously.
It's fucking ridiculous. So a lot of things have happened since we've been gone. Since we've been gone. But
That's a good song. That's a banger.
yeah.
Yeah. Kelly Clarkson. Shout out Kelly.
Shout out Kelly Clarkson. If you ever want to come on the show, we don't really do interviews.
No, it's
So we
been a
wouldn't be
minute.
interested in that.
But I mean, I feel like she's a big enough star to where like we couldn't turn away Kelly Clarkson if
You
she
think
wanted
we
to
would
come on the
interview
program.
her?
You
You think
we
we'd sit her
could?
right here in the middle?
I think we would have to. We'd have to make an extra spot. It would be, like a bit of a hassle. And I'm not saying that like she's going to enjoy her time here. We're not going to go out of our way to cater to her. There's
That's
not
not
going to
what
be
it's about, though.
green room snacks or rider or anything. But yeah, we cram Kelly Clarkson. I mean, I believe she's a portly woman, isn't she? So she, I mean, it
Yeah.
might be a little cramped, but still, we can get Kelly Clarkson in here, ask her, about what is she best known for?
That song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, reach out if you...
Kelly Clarkson, let us know if you're watching this. Drop a line in the comments, sound off. Let us know if you're willing to do this interview. Otherwise, we're just going to probably move on and forget all about it.
Yeah. So, one thing that happened since we've been gone is the Willy Wonka Experience.
Yeah.
Which was a event held for children.
And this was in Ireland, is it not?
It was in Scotland.
That's like the same thing.
Same
though.
thing.
Same
Yeah.
exact thing.
Same. There's mix that come from
It's just like
Scotland too.
it's like the cast-offs of Great Britain. Like all the people that aren't good enough for Britain, or they're kind of like over on like some sort of island. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
like Scotland.
They're like the
Ireland.
Florida Keys,
Yeah.
They're still part of Florida. And so the Willy Wonka Experience happened in Scotland, and this was let me see, I have a picture of the flyer here.
A very AI generated.
This was
flyer.
an event that was completely created by AI. The flyer was made by AI. It says ensuring.
Yeah, they didn't even bother to fix all like the AI fuck ups. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like there's a number of just like things that aren't even words on this signage.
It says entertaining entertainment. They got that right. You want to give a read on the bottom what these events are?
Ensuring, is that a word though? That first one?
No.
And then you got catcating. You got some live performances, which is I mean that's the
good.
thing. Carchy Tuns. Do you think that was meant to be like catchy tunes?
Yeah, maybe.
You got Exarzerde Ray lollipops and a paradise of sweet treats.
Oh, okay. So that last part.
So I mean that's like
of sweet teats.
it's like
is what it says.
yeah, yes.
So this was just some sort of gobbledygook, how AI just puts together all these letters and shit. They didn't even change it. And not only was the promotional items made by AI, the actual event was made by AI.
Yeah, so I'm thinking they just got like probably like an early version of ChatGPT and just popped in and be like, hey, help me create an event that I can market to children and make a quick buck.
Yeah.
And, ChatGPT probably churned out, well, how about you take the IP of Willy Wonka, how that's not,
Well, I think that they changed enough things to where that's why it wasn't called the Willy Wonka Experience. It was called the Wonka Experience.
Oh, okay. So they skirted around any sort of copyright laws. And then,
so it was parody, technically.
ChatGPT just gave them a bunch of silly ideas for this event. And then they probably, at that point, like, ask ChatGPT to break it down even further and be like, okay, well, give me, what does this event have? Give me some ideas of what this event had. And then ChatGPT would, spew out a few more specific little things. Like, I didn't check it out close enough to see exactly what all they had, but I saw a few things.
I don't think that it was deep enough for them to put in a second prompt. I think that it was one prompt, and I think it said something along the lines of like, create a children's event based around Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Give me 10 events or displays that I could use.
10 attractions.
10 attractions, and also make me a flyer. And that was it. And it hammered it all out, GPT-2.
I don't know that the AI has the capabilities of actually like physically producing all the decorations and all that. But if that was a thing, it's probably not far from what they got. You know what I mean? Like, did you see all the decorations and like the props and all that? Just very.
So for one, this was like $40 a person, or maybe like $60 a person, but it was a lot. And it happened in this like abandoned warehouse. They put up all these like weird, just like minimal displays where they would have like in the middle of this big room, there was like a grassy hill with like 2 lollipops sticking out of it.
Yeah, and this is all like looks like you make it all from supplies you got at like Michael's Hobby or something like that.
It's all paper mache.
And then they got like a few, probably $50 banners printed where you can like take like backdrops that you can
literally
take
like
photo
3
ops.
foot by 2.5 foot banners that you stand in front of and then crop it out to make it look like you're in this candy environment.
A single Oompa Loompa character set up on a table with what appears to be like, like some. I mean,
like a Breaking Bad type.
Yeah,
situation.
It looks like a meth lab.
Yeah,
and supposedly, I'm assuming it's supposed to be like
it's a flavor
candy,
station.
Yeah,
is what it's called
for candy manufacturing, where you would have children come and presumably make candy. And then I want to say that I saw that the only candy the children actually got is they each got a single jelly bean.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah. I want to say they were given like 3 jelly beans.
But still, I mean, like a comedically low amount of candy was actually given out
to
for
be in
an
a
event.
candy factory.
Yeah, an event inspired by the movie Willy Wonka, which is all about a candy factory.
And then throughout all of this weird, jumbled crack pipe mess that the AI wrote, it created a character called the Unknown who lives in the walls of the candy factory.
Yeah, it's like a shadowy, unknown villain, antagonist character that they came up with.
That the AI just created out of nowhere.
So, yeah, they had to cast someone for that, and they just got like a cheap Halloween mask and a wig and like a black sheet. And
no, that wasn't a wig. It was
carry around. Oh,
it was
is that
her
their
real
hair?
hair?
Oh, wow.
And she was like a 14-year-old girl, like an actress, an aspiring actress.
And they gave her like a mirror to carry around and like hide behind the mirror and like bring it down.
And he's all, "What is that? The Unknown." And she comes out and terrifies the kids.
These
the kids
poor
are
children.
screaming.
These children. I mean, there's no real villain in the Willy Wonka movies. You know what I mean? Like maybe the little bratty kids at the very worst are the antagonists of the story, but there's no monsters or anything dark like that.
See, there isn't. But I think that was like I think in the book it was a lot darker than it was in the movie.
Probably.
Where it was just a bunch of spoiled rich kids that were getting their comeuppance and getting dealt with.
And I mean, really, when you think about it, like, it is kind of problematic what happens to some of those children in the candy factory. You know what I mean? Like, you're only left to assume what happens to them, but many of them, I think, faced death, if not severe injury at the hands of
life-changing injuries.
His lackadaisical safety precautions.
That one girl was a blueberry.
Yeah, you can't have that. I mean, like, OSHA would have a field day with that, with that factory.
So this event was insane and very cheap and just ripped off a bunch of people.
People are making the comparison to like a Fire Fest
Yeah.
for children, which I think is an astute comparison.
Yeah. And this character, which actually is very fitting for what's his name? Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl is the
Roald
originator of Charlie and the Willy Wonka universe.
Yeah. And he wrote this. He wrote Matilda, The Big Fucking Giant.
The Fantastic Mr. Fox was another one that he's known for, and a lot of these are books that you've probably read as a child. But supposedly, there was like a lot of early drafts to some of these books that were far darker. Kind of like how all the fairy tales that have been incorporated by Disney originally are like way darker and sinister.
Yeah, but everybody's always killing people.
Instead
of like, oh, they banished them to 1,000 years. It's like, no,
a
they
ton of
ripped
murder.
out their
all
heart
kinds of
and
murder
shoved it in
going
their
on.
ass. Like, it's hella crazy. So yeah, he wrote all of these books that originally were dark stories that he was trying to scare kids with, and then
and he was supposedly a very unpleasant person. Like we've talked about J.K. Rowling being a bit of a kook, like this Roald Dahl, he was a bit of a meanie, allegedly. I don't know that, but
yeah. Well, according to this
for
NPR
our narrative
article,
here, like he was a monster.
He was a mean guy, a monster.
Just a
he
real
was like,
bad guy,
like an Ed Gein type character.
So you have to wonder, like, I mean, I know he's been dead for a number of years, but could Roald Dahl actually be alive and be the one who's behind this AI event? And this was kind of like his grand finale as far as just terrifying children.
Yeah, it could be,
Makes
because
you
the
wonder.
unknown was pretty scary.
The unknown very well could be this Roald Dahl character.
And I heard from an interview with one of the, I think it was the Oompa Loompa girl at the Flavor Station. She said that it was like this thing. They got paid barely any money to do it.
I heard a lot of them didn't get paid at all.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't get paid at all. And what they were offering initially wasn't great. And it was just all people that needed the money. A bunch of people ended up not showing up. Like, I guess the day before, they got to see like how it was going and go there and do a little rehearsal.
Second thoughts, I'm sure.
And then they didn't show up on the day of, so there was only a few of them there. And she was like, I was just trying to get my money and just do this dumb job. I didn't know that it was going to go viral and that everybody was going to see me at this Flavor Station. And a lot of people got screwed. The parents got screwed. The kids got screwed.
Roald Dahl got screwed out of some residuals, presumably.
Unless he was a part of it.
Because
he died in 1990.
1990.
That's not that long ago.
And he was supposedly 74 years old when he died.
So he'd be 105 or something.
Yeah, and like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons is 104 notoriously, and he's constantly creating mishaps and carnage for the residents of Springfield. So,
and I think he is kind of like a Mr. Burns character. That's a perfect comparison. He's that kind of guy.
Look at his picture. He kind of looks like Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
he's like a bald guy with a little bit of hair around it. And he's got like a big bulging nose, and yeah,
that's terrifying. So yeah, this unknown character I think is the best thing to come out of this.
Yeah, and being that it is an AI generated character, some filmmakers have jumped on this whole thing and have decided to base a horror movie around this unknown character. And it's been announced. Obviously, it's not in production just yet, but
I hope it's going to be an A24 or like a Blumhouse movie.
That'd be lit.
And they just put all. I hope it's not a flop like that Willy Wonka, Winnie the Pooh movie.
Oh yeah, I imagine it's going to be right. I mean, possibly even worse than that. But
did that movie even come out, or was it just the trailer?
I think it did. I think it did come out. Yeah, and then I want to say that I don't know if it's the same producers, but someone's doing a similar movie with Steamboat Willie now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope it's not like that. I hope this is like a serious, actual, big level movie. like with Netflix money.
Speaking of A24, did you see the trailer for Civil War?
No.
There's an A24 movie coming out called Civil War. It's about like modern day America having a civil war. Much like, potentially we may have at any time in the current political climate. Yeah. And it's A24's biggest budget movie ever. And it looks pretty crazy.
Damn, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I was watching this thing about how like production companies used to have like weight and clout back in the day in like the 70s and 80s. Like if it was a certain production company, you'd see like Miramax and you'd be like, oh, this is going to be a good movie. And then that kind of went away when the movie industry like all started changing, and then a bunch of new people were like scrambling
and
in
like
to
Disney
take the
bought up
spots.
half of them, so like half of them are just under like the Disney umbrella now.
And then you just see a production company and it doesn't really mean anything. You don't care. You just go through and then get through the credits. Let's do the movie.
Remember New Line Cinemas?
Yeah,
that was like a shitty one.
Mm-hmm. And I think it started with Blumhouse, but then really A24, people would get excited for movies that had that A24 logo in the beginning.
The past few years, especially, I think ever since that one first, what was it? Get Out?
Yeah. And I found out that the first A24 movie, they all follow like the same kind of like aesthetic and feel.
Wasn't it the Midsummer?
No. It was Spring Breakers.
Oh, really?
Was the first A24 movie.
That's a decent movie.
So I actually rewatched it a couple days ago, and it wasn't great.
It wasn't great?
No.
Oh, shit.
Like, it wasn't bad, and like the storyline of the movie and everything was good. James Franco played some sort of like riff-raff, roach clip type character.
Legit inspired by Riff Raff. Mm-hmm. He like hung out with Riff Raff to do like character development before the production.
Yeah, and it was fucking crazy. But then a lot of it was like weird and cringe and unnecessary, and it was also a Harmony Korine movie.
Oh yeah,
and so it was like the girl time was never realistic ever. Like it wasn't how like a group of girls would act together when they're alone. It was how Harmony Korine would like a group of girls to act together when they're alone. And it was wild.
I feel like kids bought Harmony Korine like a pass to just make some ridiculous movies in the wake of it.
What was the name of that movie that prof cover is about the white trash kids? The like Gompo.
Fuck, what is it?
Where the kids eating spaghetti in the bathtub. That was a
Harmony Korine, was it?
I think it was.
Gumbo or
Gumbo. Gummo. That's what it was. Gummo.
Yeah, it was. It was Gummo.
And was it Harmony Korine?
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure it was. Because he be making some weird ass fucking movies.
It was Harmony Korine.
Yeah. So Spring Breakers definitely had a Harmony Korine feel to it. It was good, but not as good as I remembered it being. But it did set the tone for like A24. And I hope that they do the Unknown movie for sure.
Yeah, that'll be tight.
Something coming up in a couple months. The Mike Tyson Jake Paul? Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight.
Yes.
I almost called it
it's going to be
fight.
A big boxing exhibition.
I got to cash out.
They just announced it. Mike Tyson's going to be fighting the oh shit, I do too.
Yeah.
Jake Paul.
He's going to be
YouTube sensation Jake Paul, who's been fighting a number of kind of fringe boxing stars, either people that are like barely considered professional fighters or people that are like way past their prime. Mm-hmm. And in this case, he's fighting, the biggest boxer of all time, who is very much past his prime.
Yeah,
Mike
way
Tyson.
past his prime.
And yeah, it's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. So the fact that it's on Netflix and in that massive stadium is probably going to make it the most watched and biggest boxing match, at least in a very long time. But then they're just announcing, or like, there's a rumor, I don't think they've officially announced it, that it's going to be held under exhibition rules, which basically makes it like just like a sparring. Like they're gonna have protective headgear and like lighter gloves than they normally would in like a professional boxing match, and it's just gonna be kind of lame.
Kind of like
So I'm
like flag football.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not as hard hitting. Very unlikely you're going to see like a knockout or anything like that. But I'm optimistic because people have been trolling this ever since the rumor came out that the backlash from, like the negative backlash they're getting for it will force their hand into making it a professional boxing fight, in which case we would get, like a possible knockout.
Yeah, you want to see him fucking.
Yeah, you don't want to see Mike Tyson with fucking headgear and you can't throw certain punches. They're wearing these little fucking, soft gloves. It's just, it would be a sham.
Yeah.
So initially when I first started, I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is gonna be amazing. And then I heard that it was gonna be an exhibition, and I was like, definitely a lot less enthusiastic, but
we'll see what happens.
They did want to, like in 2020 there was a Mike Tyson exhibition where he fought I think Roy Jones Jr., who's another past his prime fighter, and it was held under those rules and it was pretty mediocre.
I say that people try to boycott it and just say, hey, we're not going to watch it if it's like that all over Twitter. We can maybe start that trend here.
Boycott.
Start it going. Boycott it, and we want it strict. Boxing?
I mean,
rules?
Ideally, like we take it one step further, and it's just like bare knuckle fighting.
Bare knuckle,
no rules, no referee.
MMA, maybe.
I mean,
bare knuckle MMA.
Just really no rules. So whatever they want to do. I mean, like
you could bring a weapon.
It could potentially be like a hardcore death match where there's like barbed wire and weapons involved. Maybe some chairs. Maybe it's like conducted under. Like a WWE type situation.
Like a cage match?
Yeah, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell. Or War Games where there's two rings beside each other and then a cage all around it.
Yeah, I like that.
And then they bring in like 6 or 7 other people, to get involved and mix it all up. There's a lot that they can do with this fight. So I just don't understand why they would want to do like the most boring possible. I think supposedly it's because of the age difference. Like Jake Paul's 30 years younger than Tyson. But Mike Tyson's still fucking Mike Tyson.
He's still Mike Tyson.
He's
That's
still
the
Mike
thing
Tyson,
is like
man.
Jake Paul's younger and he's kind of like in his prime and fucking up all these geriatric dudes. But Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. And I remember hearing an interview with him a couple years ago when he was talking about his like weed farm that he has now and his weed company and how he's like peaceful.
He smokes a lot of weed.
And he like works out, but he doesn't train. And he was talking about how he doesn't want to train because there's a monster inside of me.
Yeah, yep.
He said there's a monster inside of me, and if I train, that monster comes out and it wants blood.
Now, there have been some recent clips of him training and sparring, and he looks like he could definitely still like kill any regular person.
And I think that monsters might come out and kill Jake Paul.
I think that's what everybody's hoping.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to throw an event. We're going to live stream it. You can watch it with us.
Yeah, I might play some wager because believe it or not, Jake Paul is actually going to be the heavy favorite in this with most bookies. So like if you wanted to place a wager on Tyson, you could potentially win some easy money.
And you could probably do this at like mybookie.com or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
DraftKings
probably.
Yeah.
We're in California, so we can't do any of it.
Yeah, true. Well, that's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting.
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Depending.
We just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're going to be throwing an event, so stay tuned for information on that. What else do we got here?
China did something. We should have some
China.
Big Trouble, Big China.
Computer, what's going on in China?
On Saturday, February 24th, the China were edged out by the Japan 73-76 on the road. But it wasn't enough to lift the China to victory.
Okay.
So something about etched out by Japan on the road?
Japan sounds like maybe like a baseball game or
Big Trouble in Big China. Japan and China are beefing.
Yeah, and you know what? That actually takes me. I've been watching a lot of world history documentaries lately, specifically about like all the wars, and that takes me back to Japan and China were at odds at one point, and Japan almost took over China.
Really?
You think Japan's just this little tiny thing. Japan, like pre getting into it with America in World War II, they were expanding. They were colonizing. The Emperor of Japan was trying. He had big plans, and that was one of
plans in Little
big
Japan.
plans. Yes, big plans in Little Japan, and that was one of the reasons that they sneak attacked us at Pearl Harbor. Japan did that because
Allegedly.
No, this is very well documented.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did that to as like a preemptive strike, so that we wouldn't have a fleet on the Pacific to stop them from whatever they were trying to do. I don't know. They're trying to get fucking. But yeah, Japan. As it turns out, like Japan was once the villain out of Asia. Now you think like China's, big trouble, big China. But
I wonder if we might want to like start doing a little segment, Big Trouble in Little Japan.
I mean, like it seems like all of it, and I hate to make it such a broad racial thing, but it seems like all of Asia at one point or another has had their eyes on the prize as far as world domination. You got North Korea. South Korea, apparently has been pretty chill for the most part, but you had Vietnam. We got into it with Vietnam. Obviously, we've had our beef with China. We had a war with Japan. It's just makes you wonder what's coming next. What's coming next from Asia?
What's coming next? Computer, give me a country in Asia.
Here is a country in Asia, the Philippines.
The Philippines, yeah. I mean, who is the Philippines?
The Filipinos?
That feels like they would be like south of us. The Filipinos.
Yeah, it does feel like that, but Filipinos are from the Philippines. I'm almost positive. Computer, where are Filipinos from?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, a Filipino is a resident of, or a person from, the Philippines, a country composed of several islands in the Western Pacific.
I guess
the coast of Southeast Asia.
Makes a lot of sense. That could be who Japan was trying to invade, where they attacked the American Navy.
Filippo?
They might have been trying to take over the Philippines, and they knew that we had, like boats stationed in all these places on the Pacific, on the Western Pacific, and they tried to take us out. They snuck attacked us.
So
Pearl Harbored us.
You think the attack on Hawaii, they were actually trying to get to the Philippines?
They were trying to disable.
It was like a Christopher
They
Columbus?
were trying to get somewhere, and they were basically just trying to temporarily disable our Navy from being able to stop them from wherever. I can't remember who they were trying to take over. But
yeah. So the Philippines, I guess, they are cool?
I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
But keep an eye.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
That's what they say.
Would that really work in this situation?
Well, I mean, given the fact that it's countries, it would be difficult to bring them any closer, as far as relocating them.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I guess we could round them all up but
no,
I mean, the United States has already had a history of taking people from their homelands and making them do bad things. So I don't think we need to revisit that.
Yeah. I don't know, like, you figured that we would have learned the first time, but we've kind of done that a lot.
Those who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat history, as they say.
Who says that?
That's what I've always said. It's just a phrase I coined. Like I said, I've been
doing
a lot of world history research lately on YouTube, watching a lot of video essays from random teens. And so it's kind of given me the wisdom and foresight to see that, again, things like that. If you don't learn your lesson, you're just going to make the same mistakes over and over again.
Can I quiz you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What religion is
Hindu?
Japan?
What's
the most predominant religion in Japan?
They're atheists. They're godless heathens.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What is off limits on Thursday in Greece?
You can't have pork on Thursdays. Everybody knows that. You can't have pigs. You're not even allowed to own a pig on Thursdays.
You have to give it away?
So yeah, at the end of every Wednesday, they let these pigs roam free.
And then on Thursday, whoever gets a pig gets a pig. Or Friday?
Friday, yeah. You got to go get it. Yeah, so the pigs are constantly changing possession.
Do you have them tagged, or is it just you grab a pig?
I mean, you can try to tag them, but I mean, once the pig's released at the end of Wednesday, like it's every man for themselves. Nobody technically owns these pigs anymore. So, who's to stop me from claiming a pig that was tagged with your name?
Yeah, and just remove the tag and just say,
yeah,
I didn't see a tag.
It's kind of a wild practice when you think about it. It seems like it'd be a lot of work, but in the name of religion.
Mm-hmm. Now in Christianity in the United States,
sure. Yeah.
What kind of garment is illegal?
You'll notice that typically most Christians don't wear a ton of silk. Mm. Silk, you're mostly seeing, like Catholics wearing these silk shirts. You got some Cubans. Cuban's not a religion, but you've got these Cubans that wear the silk shirts.
What religion are Cubans?
They're probably Catholic, right?
Probably.
And I mean, you've got the Jews constantly, decked out in these fine silk,
wares,
Versace silk shirts.
Yeah.
And you got the Armenians probably wearing a lot of silk.
Lots of silk.
But Christians typically not much silk on them.
Enough silk. And
I think that's because Jesus considered silk to be like a holy thing, right? Like that was one of the things that he made everybody give up for Lent. That he made them turn all of their silk into him.
Oh fuck!
And he turns the silk.
Hold on, that reminds me. Ramadan starts tonight. Have you been drinking water?
Yeah.
Or eating anything?
Yeah, I've been drinking all this water.
We shouldn't drink because Ramadan starts.
Okay.
I think everybody has to do that.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah. How long is it?
What? Silk?
Ramadan.
8 crazy nights, right?
We have to not drink
8
water
crazy
for
nights.
8
Yeah,
days?
we light a candle every night of Ramadan.
Or is it only at night that we can't drink?
Computer. When can't I drink on Ramadan?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, in the month of Ramadan, eating and drinking is not allowed between dawn and sunset. Intimate physical contact is also not allowed during this time. It's also important to refrain from violence, anger, envy, greed, lust, gossip, and to try to get along with each other better than normal.
Are you fucking kidding me? For a month? They
For a
expect...
month?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any of that.
Well, it said from dusk till dawn.
I'm not doing any of that. I'm gonna murder. I'm gonna swear. I'm gonna fuck. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna do all those things. I'm gonna lust.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna be
yeah, because that's
hate.
That's not just at night. That's during the day too. Yeah. It's not like you can go wilding during the day.
Fuck,
it's
Ramadan
just you're not supposed to eat and drink.
What religion is that?
Muslim.
Muslim. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not Muslim.
Okay. Last question. Iceland.
I slander you too.
You did?
You said you slander?
No, I said Iceland.
I slander you too.
I didn't say I slander.
You're slandering me.
No.
I mean, like, I'll slander you back. I slander you. You slander me.
I don't think you're a world historian expert at all.
What makes you say that?
Because the way that you answer those questions.
I answer those questions with confidence and accuracy.
Now, yesterday I was with an expert, a world historian expert.
Weren't.
Yeah,
no,
I
you
was.
Weren't.
Yeah, I was.
You don't know
I
any.
was sitting with an expert.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I was.
I doubt that.
And I said, Iceland? And he gave me the real answer.
What's the real answer?
That I don't remember. It was a historian.
You weren't with a historian yesterday.
I was with a historian.
Where?
He had a beard. Glasses. Okay.
It doesn't make anybody a historian because they have a beard and glasses. I have glasses. I don't have a beard, but...
You don't have a beard.
Oh,
but he had a beard, he had glasses, he had a vest, suit, tie, combo.
And where did you...
3-piece.
Like a library, like a research center? Where were you? Where was this historian? This historical society?
No. It was at like a Kroger.
We don't have Kroger.
Yeah, we do.
No, we have Safeway.
No, it was at a Kroger grocery store.
We don't have a Kroger here. You traveled? You were in another city?
Ralph's.
You're in a Ralph's.
Kroger. It's a Kroger. So it was at the Kroger. He was outside of the Kroger. He had his car, but it looked like it had a lot of stuff in it, which was probably like artifacts, you know.
Are you sure he wasn't just living? This fellow wasn't just like a drifter, and he's living out of his car. That's why he has a beard, because he's unkempt and doesn't have access to regular showers and.
No, if anything, it's like how someone that works really hard will like sleep at the office. You know, they fall asleep on their desk. They brush their teeth.
Did he have an English accent?
No.
What?
He had like a gravelly, like, you know, he's weathered. He's well traveled. He's seen a lot. He's like an Indiana Jones type historian character.
Was it Satchmo?
No, it wasn't Satchmo.
Satchmo knows a lot about history.
Hold on. Satchmo was there. Satchmo came by when I was, where did I meet him?
At the Kroger.
At the Kroger. Satchmo came by.
Do I need to get Satchmo to
he was
confirm
getting
this?
Mike's Hard Lemonades, and he walked by and he saw me talking to him.
Satchmo, is that accurate?
Satchmo, we need your help. Do you remember at the Kroger the other day when I saw you? You do? Is that a yes or a no? A no? A yes. You could talk, Satchmo. Why aren't you talking?
No, Satchmo, go away.
Why isn't Satchmo, why didn't he want to talk?
I think that Satchmo called you a liar, honestly. He just didn't want, he's a nice guy. He didn't want to have to call you out like that, but I'll go ahead and say it. Like, Satchmo didn't confirm your story. I'm calling shenanigans
No,
here.
this guy was here. He had stuff in his car, historian artifacts, and he was...
Was it the Highlander?
No.
He wasn't the Highlander?
He must have just got back from some sort of dig or something, because he was like real dirty and dusty. And he was
Did he have like an archaeologist suit on?
Yeah, he had a suit, 3-piece suit.
And like the hat?
I think he used to have the hat. You know, it was probably, the hat was a part of the suit for sure, but it was either in the car or got misplaced on his last adventure.
And this guy, he answered the question I slammed.
Yeah, he was telling me that he's a historian, that he has magnetic things that they use to like build the pyramids and stuff like that.
Who are you going to believe, folks? Sound off below. Do you believe me, who's been watching a number? I'm going to say at least 5 or 6 different historical teen YouTuber essays. Or are you going to believe Mikey, who's got this fabricated story of this phantom historian that he can't provide any real details about, trying to drag Satchmo's good reputation into this whole thing? Who are you going to believe? Sound off below. Let us know.
All right. Well, I'll get him in here.
Yeah. I would love to have a chat with this gentleman.
All right. Well, next week we're going to have the historian in here, and it's also going to be something we're going to have the gift of gab, because we're going to go to fucking...
Yeah, we're going to Ireland this weekend.
And that's what we'll get him on board for the Ireland thing. Yeah. We'll trick him.
He could probably take us to the Blarney Stone, because I have no idea where it's at.
Yeah. He's going to teach us all about it. So this is perfect. And then you'll get to meet him, and then you can see what I see.
Yeah, and we'll get the gift of gab, and then we'll be able to con women into doing whatever we say, and... This is all going to work out excellent.
All right. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Natural Habitat Recordings.